The pickup truck market has never been this shaken up. Chinese brands are rolling in with prices that are hard to ignore. American manufacturers keep refreshing their flagship models, and buyers have more choices than ever before. In that mix, some folks thought Toyota would just sit tight, leaning on its reputation and letting others set the pace. They couldn't have been more wrong. Toyota just unveiled its 2026 pickup lineup, and it's not some minor facelift or price tweak. No, it's a bold statement. We're talking redesigns that go down to the platform. Interiors that finally match the rugged exteriors. Powertrains blending proven mechanics with what the market demands, and in some cases, launches that caught everyone off guard. While the competition tinkers and tweaks, Toyota shows up with the confidence of a company that knows exactly what it's doing and who it's for. Today, we're breaking down the 5 Toyota pickups for 2026 that are rewriting the rules.
There's one at number 4 that costs at the under 20 grand and brings a design philosophy the market hasn't seen in years. And the top spot, it's a quiet, strategic move that could reshape an entire segment. Let's dive in. Number 5. When it comes to pickups that have defined a category, few models worldwide can claim that title as legitimately as the Toyota Hilux. This isn't just a truck that sells well, and it's one that's built its rep in places where vehicles aren't known by brand, but by what they do, in fields, mines, conflict zones, on roads that aren't on any map. That reputation is Toyota's biggest asset in the mid-size pickup segment, and it's why the new 2026 generation couldn't afford any slip-ups. Toyota knew it, so they didn't come with a quick fix. They delivered a 9th generation redesigned from the ground up. The biggest change, and the one with the most real-world impact, it isn't something you see from the outside. The 2026 Hilux ditches its old platform and switches to the TNGA architecture, the same foundation that underpins the Tundra. That means a 25% boost in chassis rigidity, which translates to less flex when the terrain gets tough, better handling in loaded curves, greater long-term structural fatigue resistance, and a sturdier base to handle daily abuse without wearing down. For someone using the Hilux as a real work tool, that's way more important than any horsepower number. On the looks side, the evolution is sharp and purposeful. The front grille is way wider and more prominent. The LED headlights have a sleeker profile, and the whole front end projects a stronger presence without going overboard on aggression, like some rivals, which can actually make them less practical in work settings. Toyota nailed the balance between a serious look and actual functionality, which is exactly what its core customers expect. And under the hood, the 2.8-liter turbo diesel that's made the Hilux famous in dozens of markets stays as the heart of the lineup. But the 2026 update bumps it to 204 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. Those numbers put it right in the mix with the latest engines from direct competitors, all while keeping the legendary reliability that's turned this power plant into a symbol of toughness. The new addition to the powertrain options is a mild hybrid version that pairs the same diesel with a 48-volt electric generator and support battery, adding 16 extra horses to the system. It's not a huge power jump, but it delivers noticeable improvements in fuel efficiency and throttle response under partial loads, where most Hilux owners spend their time. The interior has historically been the Hilux's weak spot compared to competitors that leaned more toward comfort. Toyota owned up to it and stepped up. The 2026 Hilux gets a 14-inch central touchscreen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a fully digital 12.3-inch instrument cluster, customizable by drive mode, and upgraded materials that boost the cabin's quality feel without ditching the toughness needed for work environments. It's no longer just the truck that doesn't break. Now it's also the one you can comfortably work in for 10 straight hours. The starting price for the new Hilux hovers around 40 grand, a figure that's sparked debate in some markets.
but Toyota backs it with the strongest argument in this segment: total cost of ownership. A Hilux bought today still holds value in 10 years. Few work vehicles can say that. Number 4. Now, we get to the model that sparked the most buzz since Toyota announced it, and it doesn't fit into any of the boxes the market usually puts the brand in. The 2026 Toyota Stout, known as the Hilux Champ in some markets, is a truck that exists as a direct answer to a question Toyota's development teams have been hearing from dealers in emerging markets for a while. When is someone going to build a work pickup that costs what a work pickup should? The Stout is that truck. The conceptual starting point for this model is a straightforward philosophy that Toyota's leadership laid out plain and simple at the reveal. There's a growing group of buyers fed up with pickups loaded with features they'll never use, screens they don't need, and prices that lock them into financing for years for a vehicle they just need to get the job done. The Stout doesn't offer any of that extra stuff. It gives them exactly what they need and nothing more. The platform uses the same ladder frame setup as the traditional Hilux, ensuring the structural rigidity to handle 1-ton loads regularly without compromising long-term durability. The exterior design doesn't try to hide its utilitarian roots with sporty lines or fancy trim. It's a pickup that looks like what it is, a tool with a body. And that design honesty is one of its strongest selling points in markets where function trumps flash. The powertrain follows the same no-frills approach. For Latin American markets, Toyota went with a 2.4-liter diesel engine, putting out 148 horsepower and 253 pound-feet of torque, mated to a 5-speed manual transmission. It's not the most powerful setup in the segment, and it doesn't pretend to be. It's a proven combo, tested in real work conditions, easy to maintain in shops without fancy tools, and built to keep running strong long after more high-tech trucks start breaking down. But what makes the Stout truly smart from a business standpoint is its modular design. The rear chassis is built to adapt to different body types based on what the buyer needs. It can come as a standard cargo pickup, convert to a delivery platform, or customize for specialized commercial use in various industries. Toyota isn't selling you a fixed-function pickup. They're selling you a base to build the vehicle your business requires. That flexibility has real value in markets where work vehicles are investments that need to pay off in multiple ways over time. The interior has nothing extra. A steering wheel without controls on the spokes, physical knobs for basic functions, a small infotainment screen, and the shifter. Zero distractions, zero complexity, zero electronic parts that could lead to surprise repair bills years down the line. In a premium context, that might sound like a downside, but in the world this pickup was made for, it's spot on. The starting price around 20 grand is the number that really shook up the industry when it was confirmed. It's not a teaser price for a bare-bones config no one would buy. It's the cost of a complete work vehicle, backed by Toyota's warranty, in a segment where Chinese competitors thought they had a lock. Toyota just made that a lot tougher for them. Number 3. We're hitting the top 3 with the full-size pickup Toyota builds specifically for the North American market, where demands for payload, towing, and size are unlike anywhere else. The 2026 Toyota Tundra isn't subtle. It doesn't try to be. At nearly 20 feet long and about 6.5 feet wide, the Tundra is one of those beasts that announces its class before the driver even opens their mouth. The refreshed front end for 2026 keeps the massive grille that defines the lineup's look. How with a design that balances commanding presence with clean lines, avoiding the over-the-top bling that's plagued some competitors lately. One of the most consistent gripes from owners of previous Tundras was the fuel tank. In earlier versions, the base setup came with a tank that fell short for typical use in the American market, especially for long-haul drivers or those working in remote areas where gas stations aren't everywhere. Toyota heard that loud and clear, And for 2026, they've made the 32.2-gallon tank standard across all gas-powered trims, ditching the smaller option that got called out so often as a weak spot. Towing capacity is the stat that drives buying decisions in the full-size pickup segment in North America. It's not just brochure fodder that buyers glance at and forget. It's the number that decides if the truck can handle the job. The 2026 Tundra can tow up to 10,000 pounds, putting it squarely in the fight with its direct rivals and solidifying its spot as a serious tool for folks regularly hauling trailers, boats, or heavy equipment. The Tundra's 2026 powertrain pairs a 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6 gas engine with an electric motor and traction battery in Toyota's iForce Max hybrid setup. The combined output hits 583 pounds-feet of torque, beating out direct competitors in equivalent configs. And you feel it right away when accelerating from a stop with a load or in towing scenarios where you need max torque from low speeds. The system's raw power is competitive too, but it's the torque that makes the real difference in everyday truck work, keeping the engine in its sweet spot instead of straining. The 2026 Tundra's cabin is where Toyota aimed to close the gap with competitors who've long offered more upscale interiors in the premium segment.
Top trim materials are genuinely high quality, not just for show. Heated and ventilated seats are built for long days behind the wheel without the fatigue a bad seat causes after hours on the road. The 14-inch center screen is crisp, responsive, and integrated into the dash like it was meant to be there from day one, not tacked on. The 5-year unlimited mileage warranty that comes with the Tundra is a smart play by Toyota, because in the American full-size pickup market, brand trust is as crucial as the specs. The Tundra starts around 42 grand in base trim, positioning it as a premium option in the segment, but justified by what you get, especially for intensive work use over the years. Number 2. If the Tundra is Toyota's pickup for max capability, this next one is for max balance between capability, versatility, and everyday usability. The Toyota Tacoma has been the best-selling mid-size pickup in the US for years. And that dominance isn't luck or legacy. It's because generation after generation, Toyota delivers a truck that lives up to its promises across everything from heavy work to off-road adventures to daily commuting. For 2026, the Tacoma got an update unveiled at the Chicago Auto Show that grabbed the spotlight, showing the market was hungry for it. The biggest structural change in this gen is that the Tacoma now shares its ladder frame chassis architecture with the Tundra and Land Cruiser. And that's no small thing. It means Toyota's mid-size pickup is built on the same rigid, durable foundation as its bigger, tougher siblings. In real terms, it's a mid-sizer that handles with the solidity of a full-size without the bulk or fuel thirst. For buyers who felt forced to choose between daily practicality and real capability, the new Tacoma shrinks that trade-off big time. The exterior design pulls straight from the Tundra's visual language, but with full LED lighting for lineup consistency and a wider, more planted front end than before. The Tacoma has always had presence, but the 2026 version has a more mature vibe, less tied to young adventure lifestyle, and more about conveying real capability. The new color options amp that up without straying from its core identity. In person, it turns heads in a way photos don't fully capture. On the powertrain front, Toyota made a call that caught some analysts off guard because it means dropping engines that worked fine. The old V6 and V8 are gone from the Tacoma lineup, replaced by a strategy centered on a 2.4-liter turbo 4-cylinder gas engine as the base. In standard tune, it puts out 247 horsepower, a figure that beats the old ones in specific output and feels quicker in real driving thanks to the low-end torque from the turbo. Transmission options are an 8-speed auto or, for those who want it, a 6-speed manual, Toyota keeping that alive as a nod to buyers who value direct mechanical control. The variant generating the most hype
is the 2026 Tacoma iForce Max, blending the 2.4 turbo with electric assist to hit 326 horses and 465 pound-feet of torque. That tops several direct mid-size rivals, especially under max demand. Towing uphill, full payload, or tricky off-road exits. It's not a hybrid just for mileage. It's for boosted capability, without killing efficiency. The interior shows solid evolution too. More modern layout, 14-inch center screen, better materials and ergonomic seats that cut fatigue on long drives. It packs Toyota Safety Sense 3.0 with auto emergency braking, adaptive cruise and assists for safer, easier driving. With 6 configs available and a base price around 33 grand, the Tacoma holds its top spot. But the real game changer is at number 1. It's not just an update. It's Toyota entering a booming segment, the Toyota Corolla pickup. Toyota is developing a compact pickup under the Corolla name, one of its most solid and best-selling badges ever. When the brand expands such an iconic line, the whole industry takes notice. This new pickup won't go head-to-head with the Hilux or Tacoma on extreme capability. Its aim is different, winning over urban users who need occasional bed space, independent pros wanting practicality without mid-size bulk, or drivers seeking function without high fuel costs. And it's the same crowd that fueled the Ford Maverick's US success. Preliminary specs point to a 2.0-liter dynamic force engine with about 175 horses, plus a possible hybrid variant focused on city efficiency. It's not built for heavy-duty work or extreme off-roading, but for everyday use. Easy to maneuver, park, and run on a budget. Design would follow the modern Corolla lines, adapted to compact pickup proportions. With an estimated price around 25 grand, it'd be one of Toyota's most accessible options. If its phased global launch gets confirmed this year, Toyota would cover the full market spectrum, including high-end like the Tundra. Toyota isn't reacting to the market. It's getting ahead of it. If you dig this kind of breakdown and want to stay in the loop on the biggest auto world news, subscribe to the channel and like the video so more people can catch it.